Good morning, friends. It's Shar Meekins here on day 2 of A Path of Purpose. Good morning, friends. It's Shar Meekins here on day 2 of A Path of Purpose. It's great to have you come on today. So, this is what I'm thinking about today. And today, I want to just talk about what an amazing gift it was when we were created, that we were created with choice. You know, it's something we take for granted. We we kicked and screamed as kids because we had choice and we wanted things our own way. But choice is not a negative thing, it's a positive thing. And so even as little kids, we realized we could think about what we wanted to be when we grew up. As teenagers, we thought about what was the car we were going to buy. And when we turned 16, right? And then as young adults, then we started thinking about, where am I going to go to college? Where am I going to work? Just so many choices. Our lives are filled with amazing choices. But I wrote down some notes here about those choices. Too often when we when we become an adult, we start not listening to our heart, and we listen to the voice of others, and we make choices based on what we think someone else wants us to do versus what our desires are and who we were created to be. And so those choices become burdensome, and they make us feel like life is no fun. And it's because we've made choices not based on our own heart, but the heart of others. And the toughest part is when we do those things, we start blaming and we start pointing the finger at everyone else for the misery and the destruction that's taking place in our lives. And this might sound like a little bit of a harsh message today, but the truth is we have no one else to blame but ourselves, because we're making choices for ourselves. But we're dictating that, well, you hear people say, well, my mom and dad wanted me to be a lawyer or to be a doctor, or they wanted me to go to this certain college, or they wanted me to buy this certain car or live close to them. The list goes on and on and on. And so you begin hearing someone that has not taken the freedom to make choices for themselves. And that doesn't mean we negate the wisdom we're given by our loved ones in our lives, by our parents, by friends and other family members, but it does mean we don't compromise who we were created to be and what plan he had for our lives. So I'm looking at my other thoughts here. So I had to choose at 20 the path I was going to take, and I realized that I had been choosing a path that was contrary to my heart. And since even I was a young girl, I always wanted to serve Jesus and work on the mission field. And I allowed people's perception of being on the mission field and their fear, and that it would be dangerous. And I'm not saying there's not some of the truth in some of that, but I allowed people's opinions of being a missionary to push me away from pursuing that path. And so it wasn't until I was 20 I realized that I could make choices for myself, and I could follow what God had for me in my life. And so it was at that point I quit just running and trying to please others, and going to the bar with friends because that would make them happy, when I was guilty. I was like, that isn't the lifestyle I wanted. And so choices are a big deal. They can make or break you. So how can you determine if you're making right choices? Well, the right choices will bring you joy. They will bring you peace. They will give you goals and ambition and purpose. And obviously, I like that word purpose. But if your choices are bringing grief and sadness and depression and hardship, those choices, you need to stop and say, my choices aren't bringing me joy. What choices am I making that are causing me to be unhappy? And it could be a simple choice of, if I choose to eat that chocolate cake, I am not going to be happy. My stomach's going to hurt, right? So those choices of, even in our food, in our exercise, in our sleep, in every part of our life, the livelihood of your life in your choices affects every part of you. Just as we talked about yesterday with exchange in our life. And so that's my word for you today, is look at the choices you're making. I've been spending time looking at the choices I've been making. And some of it was getting lax in my diet and not exercising. And those seem like minimal choices, but they make a big impact on how I feel and just how much energy and strength I have. So I'm excited to just talk about choice today, because I know it's a challenge for each one of us to make right choices. So I'm excited about this year and a path of purpose, together, making those choices and moving forward, and for all that God has for us, and the purpose He has for each one of your lives. So have a great day, and we'll be talking tomorrow. Bye.